Hey, what's up everybody? Hammerheart Metal Reviews here once again, doing another classic album review for you today. Today I'm super excited talking about one of the most important black metal releases of all time. I'm talking about Bathory and their seminal album Under the Sign of the Black Mark. It is celebrating its 35th year anniversary this year. It was released May 11th, 1987. This album is an absolute classic in black metal. Can safely say that black metal would not be what it is today without this album. It is so influential and so important. There was nothing out there like this at the time in 1987. This just is a landmark in black metal. Possibly the most important black metal release ever. It is just, you could call it the quintessential black metal album. This is a one-man band at this point. It was just Equimanthorne doing everything. This album is 9 songs. It's about 35 minutes. And this is really where black metal took its form. This was the 3rd album by Bathory. The debut was more in the speed or thrash metal vein. It still was very raw and evil, and these days would get classified as very early black metal. But to me, that was very much a thrash album. Then the 2nd album, The Return, started bringing in some more darker elements, started going in that black metal direction. But I feel like this album is where this sound was really perfected. So many bands over the years have tried to emulate this formula from this album, that being fuzz-driven guitar sound, very grim atmospheres with very creepy, dark, and foreboding, with the keys interspersed here and there, and then of course the goblin-y, raspy black metal vocals of Equimanthorne. So many, pretty much every black metal band owes a debt to Equimanthorne for this style of singing, and it's just everyone has tried to emulate this sound with varying amounts of success. But yeah, this album being their 3rd album, it did start bringing in a more theatrical approach, bringing in some bigger atmospheres with the keyboards layering in there. It's not overdone keyboards, it's just sprinkled in here and there, but it really gives this album a very dark and creepy atmosphere, very evil sounding. So I will go through all 9 of these tracks, track by track, give you my thoughts on each one. I'll give you my overall thoughts on the album as a whole at the end, and then I'll give it a score out of 10. So the album kicks off with Nocturnal Obeisance. This one is just an intro to the album. It's only a minute and a half long. It's an instrumental, but it really just sets the tone of the album. It's really creepy with this organ and the wind blowing. So I wouldn't even really call it a song per se. It's just an intro to the album. But then it kicks right into the 2nd song, which is essentially the opener, Massacre, which is just an in-your-face, fast, aggressive thrasher. The vocals sound so evil on this. It's just an absolutely great way to kick off the album with this creepy intro, then right into this black metal thrash attack. Yeah, Massacre's absolutely great way to kick off the album. Just super in your face, lets you know what you're in store for. And the 3rd song, Woman of Dark Desires. This is almost like an anthem for black metal. It's very heavy and pounding, and there's even a great guitar solo in this song. I feel like Equimanthorne's guitar playing is very underrated. Not everyone gives him the respect of being a super, a really awesome guitar player. You can see on the first couple albums it was a little bit raw and unpolished, but by this time, he's doing some shredding here with the solos. And in his later days, even by the time the Viking era, when you got Hammerheart, and the guitar playing on there, and especially Twilight of the Gods on that whole album, it's so amazing. But you could kind of see it developing here. Maybe some of the main riffs aren't that complicated, but his solos are really on point. And this song has such a catchy chorus, you're just going to be singing along for sure. Woman of dark desires, woman of eternal beauty, woman of dark desires, Elizabeth Bathory. Just so fucking evil and awesome, but you will be singing along instantly. So fucking catchy. Like I said, this is a fucking anthem. Just one of their best for sure. Easily a highlight of the album. Up next, the 4th song, Call from the Grave. Another really awesome one. Starts with some keys, very ominous sounding, and then it's got these really slower, crushing riffs that come in. This song is definitely a slower tempo than some of the faster songs on the album, but it's still heavy, very like evil as all hell. The vocals just sound tortured on this song, but it's so awesome. Another highlight for sure. Really, this whole album is a highlight. There's not really any weak moments here, but yeah, this song, absolutely stellar. Then kicks into the 5th song, Equimanthorne, which is just absolutely awesome. One of my favorites for sure. The riff starts slow, but then gradually pick up speed. It's this really like cool intro to the song. Then it gets into this pure evil thrash attack. It's just so vicious and fast. And about halfway through the song, it does slow down the pace, but then it builds up nicely, and it keeps screaming like, Equimanthorne! Equimanthorne! And then it just closes with a nice solo and more thrashing. Just absolutely stellar stuff. So fucking evil. Absolutely solid. So after that, the second half of the album kicks off with what I consider probably truly the first epic black metal song, Enter the Eternal Fire. It's by far the longest song on the album. It's around 7 minutes long. It was maybe a sign of the future direction of Bathory. This was like the first epic song. The next album, Blood, Fire, Death, definitely featured a few more epics, and then that transitioned into the whole Viking era. But yeah, what can I say about this song? Absolute fucking masterpiece. The riffs are very simple, but effective. Like, yeah, maybe some of the riffs repeat a little bit, but not overly so. This is another, like, mid-paced song throughout. The main riff just drives the whole song. But yeah, this is an all-time black metal classic for a reason. It's just epic. The atmosphere created with some of the keys in there, it's so well, like, just small doses of keys in there, but it really creates this large, awesome atmosphere. So evil, so dark, but so fucking awesome. Easily one of the best songs on this album. And it goes into another really fast song after that, Chariots of Fire. This one once again starts with some keys, but then it's just a pure thrasher after that. It's a shorter song, straight to the point, but it's still awesome. Maybe this one, in the scope of the whole album, is probably not a standout compared to some of the others, but that being said, I do still enjoy it. I never skip it. Like, it's still fucking awesome. It's just maybe not as standout as some of the other tracks. After that, the 8th song, 13 Candles, another really fucking awesome one. It's got like some creepy whispers to start the song. It's another one that's more in the mid-paced like tempo, but it is a standout. Another one where you're gonna be singing along for sure. Just so good. For the child of the underworld, the fire and flame. For the child of the underworld, desire and pain. For the child of the underworld, evil prevail. For the child of the underworld, so light the 13 Candles. My throat is so fucking dry today, but you get the gist of it. Go listen to Corthon fucking scream his lungs out doing that. But yeah, absolutely awesome track, so fucking good. And then it goes into the closing track of Doom. So this one is a tribute to Bathory's fans. If you go read the lyrics, it's just straight up like giving shout outs to the fans. Just really awesome. It's an aggressive, thrashy closing song. Absolutely great way to end the album. So yeah, as a whole, my favorite tracks on here would definitely be Woman of Dark Desires, Call from the Grave, Equimanthorne, Enter the Eternal Fire, 13 Candles, basically naming almost the whole album. But yeah, there's so many good songs here. For its time, this is so original. A lot of times you'll hear, oh, this is really awesome album for its time. It is, but that being said, this still holds up. I still listen to this album all the time. It's not just good for its time, it's just fucking good. This is such a unique album. It's so well executed. It's got catchy, memorable songs. Like I said, this is like the benchmark for black metal. I can safely say that the second wave of black metal that started in Norway would not be what it is without the inspiration here from the Swedish master Corthon. He really laid the groundwork for what the genre would become, and this album is the template which a lot of that is based on. So negatives, I don't really have anything negative to say about this album. I love everything about it. It's an all-time classic for a reason. That being said, it's not my all-time favorite Bathory album. I do think they have better. Blood, Fire, Death hit some higher peaks, I think. And even the Viking era, I really love Hammerheart and Twilight of the Gods. But this one is right there. It's definitely one of their best. I pretty much like almost all Bathory albums. A couple in their mid-period that I don't really listen to that much. But I even love Nordland. I love Blood on Ice. Fucking pretty much everything by this band. One of my favorite bands of all time for a reason. So to score this album out of 10, it's not a perfect album. I'm not going to give it 10 out of 10. but this is easily over 9. For me, anything over 9 is absolutely supreme. That's a classic, like all time, absolutely awesome. I'm giving this 9.4 out of 10. Very well deserved because it is that important and that awesome. So if you've somehow never heard Under the Sign of the Black Mark and are thinking of getting into black metal, definitely do yourself a favor and go listen to it. If you're into black metal and haven't listened to this, then give your head a shake and go listen to this because it's that good and you need to. But anyways, I mean, not everyone listens to everything, so if you haven't heard it, that's fair too. But definitely go check it out. And if you have heard it, let me know your thoughts down below. Love to get some conversations going about this absolutely classic album. So anyways, rambling on here once again. Love to hear your comments down below. And until next time, give me a like, give me a subscribe. Hammerheart Metal Reviews out.